Hello and welcome to Growth Masterminds, the podcast for growth marketers. My name is John Koetsier. So this is one of those solo growth masterminds. Don't have a guest today. I'm going to be chatting a little bit about a major report that I just released. It's called ROI Index, the Singular ROI Index for 2025. It's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing. It's built on basically trillions of ad impressions, tens of billions of dollars of ad spend, billions of app installs. And I wanted to give you just a little peek inside as to what you can find there, what you can expect from it. So if you've been around mobile marketing at all for the past decade, you'll have heard of the Singular ROI Index. It's the longest running report out there on ROI, what ROI you can expect to get from various ad networks. What we do is we take all the data that we've got from, like I said, trillions of ad impressions, tens of billions of dollars of ad spend from all of our customers. And we say, hey, what ad networks are doing an outstanding job? What ad networks are doing incredibly well? Which ones should you maybe consider if you haven't considered them before? And then we put that on a report. You can take a look and maybe you find your next best partner there. Maybe you find some confirmation for what you're doing. Maybe you find something you think about, maybe we should change this. So ROI Index has all the things you'd expect from the ROI Index. It's searchable. You can look for the best partners. You can check by platform, by region, by vertical. There is a new thing actually this year. And one thing we did is we broke out scaled versus growth ad partners. And the reason is, you've got some ad partners, you've literally got hundreds of millions of dollars of ad spend via singular customers. And you've got some ad networks that are just smaller and they've got maybe single digit millions of ad spend. Hey, they have their place and in some cases, in a lot of cases, they do a great job in certain areas. But you've got an apple and you've got an orange. Or you've got an apple and you've got, a car. So it's a bit more fair to break them out. The scaled are the larger, growth are the growing or smaller ad networks. There's another new thing, and you can take a look at it right here, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty excited by it, actually. It is a brand new thing that we're doing, and it is the Singular ROI Quadrant. So we're getting new views into our data right now. We've got a new BI team. I'm super excited about them. They're sharing new things with me, which is neat. It's always great to dive into your data and find new stuff. This is just one of the early things that we're able to do. Here we're looking at advertiser spend by ad network and distributing across a 2x2 chart, right? So you've got quadrant of waste, you got quadrant of scale, quadrant of distraction, quadrant of growth. Up is more cost and to the right is more revenue, right? Quadrant 4 is a magical place. This is the quadrant of growth. Here you pay a little and you get a lot, right? You get what you don't pay for. Most good ad networks end up in quadrant 3. That's the quadrant of scale. You do pay a lot for it, but you also get a lot for it. And of course, quadrant 2 is kind of advertiser hell. It's high cost, low return. You don't get what you pay for. And quadrant 1, it's a waste of time. You're not getting much, but you're not paying much, and you're just spinning your wheels. So we're able to do some cool things in the ROI Index around that quadrant. An interesting thing pops up when we look at ad networks by size. We see that smaller ad networks are just a bit more likely to support campaigns that fall into quadrant 4. This is quite interesting, actually. You definitely have large networks that come into quadrant 4 where you're getting a lot of value for not that much money. But we see that smaller ad networks often can be niche networks that can actually attack those areas and get you a lot for a little. So there's very, very cool stuff that we're just starting to learn as we're exploring our data through this lens. But it is interesting. And one of the things that we did is we were able to isolate a few ad networks that really, really trend into that quadrant of growth, right? Here you see a view, it's the whole globe, and you see that in North America, you've got Liftoff, Rocked, Reddit, Snapchat, who will trend more into that area. In South America, you got MAF, you got Moloco, you got Personally, Tier Ads, and Unity. that fit into that area. We're spending less and getting more. In EMEA, and I know we need to break that out more, and we'll get to that, and we're working on that as well. You see Ad Action, Addictive, Motive, and Snapchat who are doing really, really well. And in APAC, we've got Digital Turbine, Motive, Reddit, and again, Snapchat. So you see Snapchat quite a few times. There's interesting things here with Snapchat because they're doing some cool stuff. They've gone through the weeds a little bit here and there, but there's real strong potential here if they can grow their user base over time. Another new thing that we were able to do is we provided a new interface to search for high quality ad networks by geo and by vertical. So for instance, as you can see here, if you're marketing on-demand solutions in Brazil or Argentina, here's some good options, right? And we did that for a variety of different verticals and the various geos that you see here. So that's pretty cool. It's a neat way to search for something if you've got pretty targeted marketing needs and you want to grow or expand in a certain region. Here's a couple different networks to look at that we know are doing well for a given vertical. One of the things that we found as well is I coined a term, the Golden Nine. And if you're looking to go global, the Golden Nine kind of do it. They rank on every leaderboard that we've got. They do well pretty much around the world. They're active around the world. Obviously, they're not all as big as Google or Meta, right? Who is, right? Maybe TikTok is getting there, right? But they do incredibly well. So that's obviously Google and Meta. It's TikTok, it's AppLovin, it's Moloco, IronSource, Liftoff, Unity, and Mintegral. So that's pretty impressive. Now, there's one big name that isn't there, and you're going to be saying, hey, what the heck? Where is it? That, of course, is Apple Search Ads, now Apple Ads, as it's been rebranded. And it simply didn't make the list because, of course, it's iOS only. And there's big chunks of the world that are very heavily, like 90% or more, Android. And so Apple Ads didn't make this list. Doesn't mean that they're not big. Doesn't mean that they're not huge. Doesn't mean that they're not necessary. Just didn't make this exact list. One other thing I'll highlight is incentivized or rewarded ad networks. We've been seeing it, right? We've been hearing it. There's so many of these that are popping up all over the place. I saw a chart and there were 30 or 40 of them that were pretty new or new, and that was like a year ago or so. They're not just new anymore. They're growing and they're getting large. So 10 out of the 34 names on our Growth Ad Partners leaderboard, so that's the smaller ad networks, they're rewarded or incentivized networks. And 2 rank on the Scaled Ad Partners list. That's CashKick and Xmox. Also, Prodigy is there as well. They have some rewarded components. They're not just all rewarded. But we see that basically there's a ton of growth in incentivized and rewarded ad networks. It's super, super impressive. I want to hit Reddit. Reddit is making some moves. Now, we did put them on the Growth Ad Partners list, not the Scaled Ad Partners list, but they're on the verge of breaking out of that. It's a unique audience. It's hard to market to. I'm a Redditor myself. I comment. I'm on Reddit a lot. I understand the vibe there. And it has been hard historically for Reddit to really put ads in front of that audience. They're figuring it out. They're increasing the ad load. They're creating new ad units. And if they can really, really crack that problem, they've got a large and passionate user base and the capacity to grow from that. They could really, really seriously make some noise. There's a few other things that are in there and that are interesting and cool, weird, odd, struck me as interesting at least. And I'm going to highlight just one of them here. And that's that X is not dead yet. So we all know the story of Twitter transitioning to X and everything that's gone on in there, including Elon giving the middle finger to advertisers, in large ones at least, branded advertisers in a large way. And so my impression was, we've seen the reports that their ad revenue has dropped off, and certainly we're seeing some of that. They are still a player. That said, it's largely in a couple categories that many other advertisers or ad networks don't touch. And that is porn or porn adjacent content and gambling, real money gambling, and other things like that. So there's some niches where X is doing okay. And I was surprised by that. And I think that some others might be as well. One other thing that maybe I'll highlight is Moloco and AppLovin. So AppLovin gets all the headlines, right? And totally deservedly so. You look at their market cap, where that's gone, kind of 10x'd over 18 months or so, maybe trending down a little bit. There's some short seller action in the market. So it's an interesting stock. It's almost a meme stock in some sense because of some of that, but they've done very well. And obviously they're positioned in the market. So they've got Max and they've got mediation, all that stuff. They've got structural advantages in the market. And there's talk that they're moving the structural advantages that have worked very, very well for them in mobile gaming to retail, which is a massive, massive e-commerce market. And if they can do that, great, they're going to be amazing. That said, Moloco is way bigger, at least for Singular customers, way bigger. Moloco is fifth in ad spend. They're top tier for geo and vertical coverage. They're fifth in ROI, way more ad spend, as I said, and they're doing extremely well. They're doing it without those structural advantages. They're doing it with an AI-focused strategy. They're doing something right there. So don't sleep on Moloco. Anyways, I just wanted to give you a little taste of what you might find in the ROI Index, the Singular ROI Index for 2025. I hope you get a chance to check it out. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you love it. I hope it's great. Let me know on social or on Slack. I'm on Mobile Dev Memo as well as other places where you might be also. Let me know what you think and maybe what we can add to it in the future. Have a great day.